He is taking no responsibility. Gaslighting. I 30F have been with my ex-husband for more than 10 years. In May, he told me he was in love with someone else. I tried being supportive, saying he cannot control how he feels, only how he acts. Well, apparently he could not control that part either. Instead of taking a step back from her, their contact intensified. They talked for hours, they called on the phone, they told each other they missed each other, liked each other, wished the other person was with them instead of their spouse, they fantasized about their future together, etc. Nothing physical happened that I know of, but I did say to my husband that I considered what he was doing to be cheating. He was actively courting another woman, and seeing if he could get anywhere with her before breaking up with me. 2 weeks after he left me, they got together. Now he's saying he doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. He doesn't consider himself to be. He says things like, "I didn't cheat because nothing physical ever happened while I was still together with you. Our breakup doesn't have anything to do with this other woman, I just don't want to be with you anymore. I'm doing you a favor by breaking up with you now because we don't have children yet. I won't need to change and you wouldn't accept the new me. I'm doing you a favor by letting you stay in our house while we figure out the divorce. I have been honest with you from the beginning of the romance. You could have left sooner if you weren't okay with what was happening. I feel like he's trying to convince me that I am not allowed to be angry at him. He's putting doubts into my head. I keep feeling like I should have done something different to prevent this from happening. That I stood by and let things happen. At the same time, his attitude makes me so much angrier. I just want him to see what he's doing, and that it's despicable. I'm also afraid that our mutual friends will buy into his stories. So far they haven't. Is he gaslighting me? Any tips for disconnecting my self-worth from his actions? I feel as if it is necessary for my sanity that he understands how much of a shoal he was. But I can't control that. I need to find a way to move on regardless of what he thinks, says, and does. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, he's a delusional narcissist. Yes, he's having an emotional affair and probably physical, and that is cheating. He's gaslighting you as well. Go North Carolina with him, find a divorce lawyer and get the hell away from him. One thing I agree with him on is he's doing you a favor by not having kids with him. He doesn't deserve you. Redditor 2, my blood was boiling while reading this because this almost word for word is what my cheating ex of 17 years said. Yes, he is gaslighting you. He doesn't want to take any accountability for his wrongdoing to save face. He did cheat, big time. My couples therapist pointed at my ex, told him he was having an emotional affair, and still denies it to this day even though he moved in with AP 2 months after we separated. I was where you are, and let me tell you, do not let him make you doubt yourself. This is all on him. His lack of morals and honor and character equals PS husband. Soon your anger will set in, and you will have never felt this level of fury before. You will realize the extent of the deception, and believe me that if they had the physical opportunity to cheat, they took it. Don't listen to his denial or anything else he claims. He is a broken pathological liar. One day you will get to the place where you see how it's a gift to be away from that pathetic little man-child, who doesn't deserve you, and you will feel such relief that you didn't procreate with such a poor excuse for a partner. I'm happy for you that you saw him for what he is. It sucks you have to go through so much pain to see it, but you will come out the other side feeling revulsion for him, and excitement for your new future. Op answer. Thank you for the all caps advice. It's hard not to believe statements made by the person whose opinions I valued so much for so many years. The anger is starting to set in, but it doesn't really have anywhere to go yet. It cannot go toward him. I'm trying not to have any contact with him, beyond the absolutely necessary part, and only via email. And the tiny bit of anger that does show is already enough to put him into defensive mode. I want to make him see the truth, because the bullshit he is telling himself and new GF probably is just so unfair. But I shouldn't spend my energy on it. I just keep talking about my angry feelings to my parents' friends, who are supportive, but I don't want to be that negative person all the time. Redditor 3, he's downplaying what he did to appease his own guilt. What he did was not okay. Is still your husband. Even if he thinks he didn't cheat because it didn't get physical, he did cheat because it was emotional. As a married man, what he should have done was cease communication with that person and go into therapy with you and individual. I had a crush on a co-worker once. I felt terribly guilty, and told my husband. I took active steps to put space between myself and the co-worker. I did not engage with co-worker outside of anything professional. I self-reflected to figure out why I had feelings for someone outside of my relationship, figured out the reason why and brought it to my husband so the problem could be addressed and corrected. That is the proper way to handle feelings outside of a relationship, not what your husband did. Don't buy into his bullshit. You don't share his guilt, that is his to own by himself. Answer, you did exactly what I kept hoping he would do. But at every step of the way he made the selfish, short-term, follow your dick choice. Update, how do I stop looking for contact with WS? Context, WS left about 2 months ago to be with his AP, after 10+ years together. We do not have any kids, but we were married, so we are negotiating divorce currently through a mediator. That's going okay. We do have lots of mutual friends. So far those have either sided with me, not necessarily breaking all ties with WS, but being angry and needing some time themselves before they want to be around him again, or stayed neutral and ensured not to invite us both to the same gathering. At some point in the future I guess I'll have to be okay seeing him at events like a friend's birthday party, etc. So far we've been mostly North Carolina outside of divorce negotiations and other practical stuff. I requested it, and I know this is best for me. I know this because every time I hear from him, or hear about him moving forward with his life, through mutual friends, my heart shatters again. I feel abandoned again, I feel like a failure again, I feel hopeless again. But at the same time, I have this hunger for information about him. I have to restrain myself not to ask about him every time I see someone that knows him too. If they talked to him, I want to know their opinion to ensure that they still think I wasn't at fault. I kind of want to hear how he is doing, hoping to hear he's miserable too. To hear his new relationship is failing. That he has regret. I don't know, but it hurts every time because he claims to be quite happy at the moment. I can still access his calendar, and even though I turned it off on my phone, I still see it whenever I log in via a different computer. I cannot help myself and I go looking for when he has dates with AP. I cannot see what they do on those dates, but I want to know. It goes in circles in my head. I know this is unhealthy and unfair towards his privacy. But I cannot seem to stop it. If you recognize this feeling, what are some steps you took to detach yourself from wanting to know all about your ex's new life? Update, signed the papers today, I'm proud of myself. As the title says, I just wanted to share this little island of win in my ocean of sadness and fear. Context, my ex left our home 2 months ago to be with his AP. I'm heartbroken and struggling to overcome all the gaslighting and blame shifting. Over the last few weeks, I've been trying to actively distance myself from him, not trying to find out how he is, only interacting with him about necessary stuff but no small talk, not giving him information about my life, etc. It's been hard, but I also feel it is right for me at the moment. Today, we signed our divorce agreement. Although it feels unfair that he gets to walk away with 50%, I feel proud of myself for standing my ground during the negotiations. I got everything I could out of this. The lawyer asked if there was anything left we wanted to say to each other. Of course I have plenty to say to him in my head and heart, but I just said no. It was his turn, and he stated that he felt I was acting cold towards him and that was unfair. That he hoped we could be more amicable toward each other. I got the chance to respond. I hadn't prepared anything, but I decided to respond anyway. I said, I just don't see the need to spend my energy on you or becoming friends with you. I'd rather spend it on other things and people. He said he felt judged, painted as this horrible person. I said, I'm not saying anything about the kind of person you are. I'm just observing how you treated me while I was your partner, and I don't expect you to treat me any better as a friend going forward. I have the right to decide not to put myself in that position. And I left it at that. I feel like I struck a good balance between saying what I wanted to say without making it too long and bitter. I acted indifferent toward him and his desire to become friends. I don't feel indifferent, but I'm faking it till I make it. And in some moments, my feelings are starting to align. Still got a long way to go, but I'm heading in the right direction. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, well done. Seriously? Your response was awesome, like you said, you struck a wonderful balance. You also sound like the better person by far. Go live your best life and $K him. Redditor 2, I just don't see the need to spend my energy on you or becoming friends with you. I'd rather spend it on other things and people. You boss. That's the kind of zinger many of us would only come up with in the shower, months down the line. Calm and not insulting, but also straight to the point. I bow to you. Redditor 3, he cheated, betrayed your trust and marriage, and he wants amicable and is upset as being seen as this horrible person. Okay. His fees are hurt. How very sad for him. Story 2, he got arrested for being dumb. I honestly DK what to do. I'm still in shock. I moved to this country for this man, left my friends and family to start a life with him. We moved to a new state, just me and him, bought a house, started a garden and started building our home. He got a better paying job that allowed him to travel for work. On one of his business trips he says he got bored and went on Omegle to meet local PPA. Cause that's what we do, right? He met some girl and things got SQL and he changes his return flight back earlier, and drives 2 hours out of his way to go meet her. Unbeknownst to me, who still had the later arrival time in her head. His flight lands, my husband hasn't come home, he isn't answering his phone or texts. I start scouring the news cause surely there must have been an accident. We have no family friends here, so there's no one I can really call. I'm freaking out, I'm scared, where he is and what's happened to him. Around 10 p.m. his flight should have landed around 6:30. I get a call, from a county jail 2 hours away, from my husband. He begs me to call his parents, email his work and get a lawyer. I'm even more terrified cause WTF. Are you okay? What happened? Are you safe? What do I need to do? 2.5 days of no sleep, 6 hours across 60 hours, no eating, and one hefty bail later. This man comes home crying and telling me that he effed up so bad and he's messed up and how he changed his flight earlier to take care of this activity so he could come home and surprise me. You bet I'm surprised. The kicker is that whilst he was driving to meet said girl, who after some talking said she was 16, he said he kept thinking about me and how he would love to come home to me and watch our fav show together. This man is bawling and is so full of regret and, I just want to scream. He had an arraignment early in the morning in the same town as his infidelity and wanted me to come support. We now are heading so damn far to sort out bonds and all that. I'm furious, I'm so pissed. Today could have been normal. We could have been doing our respective jobs and my biggest problem would be deciding what to make for dinner. We had very little issues, we're basically best friends with our shared hobbies, love for each other. If you came to me 3 days earlier, I'd have said my life was perfect. Now, his around-the-hour apologies are sounding hollow no matter how sincere he wants them to be. His tears are getting on my nerves. He claims that we can get through this, he will work hard to rebuild my trust. You know what hurts me? I'm in the process of applying for my marriage green card visa. I had such a bright future and I gave it away to be with this man. I haven't able to work or drive since being here. I did both back home and so I'm basically dependent on him. This man who had such horrible exes and a tragic backstory and wasn't sure if he'd ever find love again, until he met me. His best friend kept me company while we didn't know what was happening and why he was arrested, and I know he doesn't want me telling the friend, but I'm so tired of covering up your duck up. I didn't do anything. I don't deserve this. What to do? I just want to scream. And cry. I've been crying a lot. I want to walk away. How dare you do the same thing to me, that you swore would end you? How dare you tell me you want to fight for us and think we can come out stronger? There would be no need for stronger if acted with common sense. How dare you talk about hindsight? If you didn't get caught, would I have known? Would you have said anything? I'm too young to be this bad. I'm so upset and angry and sad and disappointed and hurt and I know his family is waiting to hear what happened. He could lose his job, the house, everything we worked for. For what? Was IT worth IT? What was the reason? Edit, I never expected so much love and support from my hurried rant written up in a parking lot. I feel so cared for by internet strangers and I want you all to know, I'm noting all the comments and advice, and even if I am not able to reply to everyone, I'm very grateful you took time to formulate a response. I'm gonna call my mom and sister and make an appointment with both my therapist and a lawyer. I have a lot of work to do from here on out, but I do feel reassured that kind internet strangers have my back and want the best for me. Thank you. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, he will be labeled a sexual offender for life. Think about that one. He's not sorry, he is sorry he was caught here. Tell everyone the truth here. You don't need to be thrown under the bus he was hit by here. Look up Grey Rock and use it on him, seriously. Look into going back home, and distancing yourself. If your marriage is under 3 years, it can be annulled. Answer, I've had flashbacks to Nikki and her man. Exactly? I wonder, if he hadn't been caught, would he have said anything? Thank you, I'll definitely look it up. Our marriage is under 3 years, I didn't know that was a thing. Redditor 2, walk away. This is most likely not his first time stepping out of his marriage. The likelihood of him being innocent is slim to none. He knew what he was doing, he just got caught. He is not remorseful, he's sorry he got caught. No one is going to stand by him once everyone finds out his charges. Save yourself? Op answer, a very sobering thought. I still can't believe he gave up everything for this, it just makes no sense to me. Thank you for your comment. Redditor 3, he didn't get arrested for being dumb, he got arrested because he is a pedophile. Redditor 4, that's a really tough one. I think you need to tell someone, maybe his parents, what happened so you won't be alone. Op answer, I'm honestly contemplating it. I think I'll tell his friend, as he will probably understand my perspective seeing how he was there with me during the freakout. Redditor 5, he will be going away soon. Play nice, secretly help the cops put him away. Then divorce him while he locked up, take it all and head back to a different country. I don't often suggest all this, but frankly he is pederific and deserves it.